This is going to be a terrific game. Oh, nice shots.
Oh, there. That does the job.
It's a beautiful shot.
That's hit beautifully.
The atmosphere here is electric. That'll certainly get him going.
Feel so alive.
Welcome one and all, wherever you may be. We're in the mother city of South Africa, Cape Town. It's the 5th Momentum One-Day International, South Africa against Pakistan. It comes to you live from Newlands. Importantly, this is like a knockout game because it is 2-2 in the series. Over to Sean Pollock at the toss.
Yes, we're in the middle for this 5th and final Momentum One-Day International match between South Africa and Pakistan. The operative word is final. 2-2 in the series. This is the final game. The winner takes all. Faf du Plessis, the South African captain, Shoaib Malik, the stand-in Pakistan captain, Ranjan Madigali, and we've got Zach, the mascot of the Proteas, who's here to participate in proceedings. Faf, you got the coin? Don't give it a spin yet. Okay, on your marks, get set, let's go. Heads is the call. And it lands up at tails. So Faf du Plessis has won the toss, and he's decided to
You're going to have a ball first.
take on the surface.
Looks pretty good. Just the last while or so I've been playing here, I find that at night it just skids on a little bit more. So we're hoping that, even though the spinners come on later on in the evening, the ball will just skid on.
Team changes after having lost that last game.
Yeah, we got 2 changes. Vian Mulder's coming in as a batting all-rounder and Dwayne Pretorius from a bowling point of view. So I think it's a really great occasion for them. Obviously, as you say, that it's a big game, and having a look at our all-rounders and see how they respond in situations like this. So I'm looking forward to see them go.
You touch on it being a big game. Probably the most important part of your preparation is to play these kind of games, and this one, it's all on the line, isn't it? The winner takes all, wins the series.
Yeah, great test for us. Pakistan is a really good white ball team. They cover all aspects. They've got really good bowlers, and they've been setting up quite nicely with a bat. So great opportunity for us again, young team, to learn from games like this, to make sure we're clear in the way that we want to play. So as I said, I'm looking forward to a big challenge for us today.
Last question, how easy is it to put that last performance behind you?
Well, you play so much cricket these days, Polly. You have to be able to put good and bad performances to bed, because you get another opportunity to do it today. And it's important, especially from a mental point of view. There's been hardly any time at the nets. So the message the last 2 days was to try and obviously just make sure our minds are nice and strong for today and control that.
Okay, thanks for your thoughts. All the best.
Thanks, Polly.
Shoaib Malik, the stand-in captain for Pakistan. Are you happy to bat first?
Well, of course, if you don't win the toss and whatever the other opposition they put you to do, I think you should be happy. It seems that it's not going to change much even later in the day. But getting into a bigger game, bat first, put score on board, it's always puts the opposition in pressure.
What's the talk been about the surface in the camp? Because we had a very interesting one during the test matches, which you weren't here for. Do they think this one's going to play nicely?
Well, it looks like a good pitch, but of course you can only predict things. But eventually, when the game starts, then you'll know exactly how this pitch is going to play. But having said all that, the goal is to give your best shot.
Any changes to your lineup?
No, we have no change in our side, and we wanted to give this opportunity to the same guys, and they have played brilliantly in the last game. And yes, we could have made a couple of changes in our team, 1 or 2, but I wanted to play with the same side because they've played a crucial game, and I think it's important to give them chances consistently, and you get a better thing to make the best team for the World Cup.
Talking about the last game being a big game, there must be a real air of confidence in your unit about the way you guys played that last game.
If you win any game, I think the confidence is always there, but today is a new day, new pitch, new ground. I think it's just the execution of your plans, and that's what we have talked about in our dressing room. Just take it as another game, even though it's a final big game, everything is there, but still just take it as another game. And it's always good to put your team in a pressure game and see how they respond.
Okay, well, thanks for your thoughts. All the best for the game.
Thank you.
So the news from the middle is South Africa have won the toss and they've decided to have a bowl first.
Confirmation of the two teams then, and alongside me, well, a World Cup winner alongside me. First of all, to go through this Pakistan side. How are you, Ramiz?
I'm fine, thank you, Poms. Yeah, Pakistan unchanged makes a lot of sense, even though they're left arm angle heavy, 3 pacers, but they did the job perfectly, and then 2 spinners in the middle of the innings. The top looked to be in good order as well, so everything working, all bases functioning.
Expecting them to respond under pressure.
Yeah, that's going to be the key element here, because Pakistan not only have to do that, but also show a bit of consistency. Let's see whether they can weather the storm.
Okay, Graham Smith, former South Africa captain, alongside me. A look at South Africa's side, and there are a couple of changes in this side. How are you, Graham?
Well, true to form in the series, they've trialled a few people and given a lot of guys opportunities. Got hammered at the Wanderers. They'll be hoping for a better performance today. And again, it looks like a shootout. I think at the top there's a shootout between Amla and Hendricks, and obviously the 3 all-rounders. They're saying, well, big game. Let's see who steps up. We want to get some answers on who our right all-rounder is. Vian Mulder coming in, Pretorius and Pekla Kwayo, the 3 guys in that position. And then the bowlers, Tahir, Steyn and Rabada.
There are some guys who I suppose are in the camp, and many would have wondered about Aiden Markram and Reza Hendricks, and there are quite a lot of names actually, and I speak about it because of what's alongside us here, Graham Smith. Selection for the World Cup, the 15 that will go. Tell me what's in your head as you see what's playing out, and as far as selection's concerned.
Well, what's playing out is that there's a few guys that they're uncertain about. I think that all-rounder position is definitely one. I know with Dumini coming back, they're looking for more of a batting option at number 7, a guy that can bowl maybe a handful of overs, but score them runs at number 7 and share that 5th bowler role with Dumini once he's back fit and playing, and hopefully playing well. Top of the order, I think there's a little shootout between Amla and Reza Hendricks, and I think over the next 6 ODIs today and the ones to come in Sri Lanka, hopefully one of them will make a play and really say, okay, stamp authority. I think that the problem is around these World Cups is they'll have 8 or 9 players that they really know are the front go-to guys, and they're really looking for squad places, and they're looking for 1 or 2 people that really just round off that 11.
Okay. Ramiz, is it quite simple as far as Pakistan's selections when it comes to World Cup, and is it made so by Champions Trophy and being champions over in England not too long ago?
Yeah, I mean, it won't be that simple. Obviously, there can be changes and combinations and permutations to have a look at. But I think I'd pick a unit that is temperamentally strong, and it's good that Shoaib Malik and Hafiz are there. Just to G up the middle order, I think that's going to be the key part, and how they play the new ball also. I mean, Fakhar Zaman, if he gets going, then obviously Pakistan have a fair chance to lift this trophy. But, there's so many things that are dependent on winning the World Cup. Obviously, your current form, your opening combination, how the spinners perform. I mean, I'm really looking forward to Pakistan producing the results with the spin and then the left arm angle as well. So I think that they don't look as rushed probably as South Africa at this stage. They look pretty confident with the 11 or the 15 they want to pick.
Does this in any way kind of replicate a situation for World Cup, and will they be able to put themselves in that situation? Faf du Plessis saying, don't put too much pressure on ourselves, etc.
Well, I mean, there will be natural pressure on South Africa that no one likes to lose home series. They've dominated the Test series. So, hopefully they'll win today. So there's a lot of pressure on South Africa in any occasion to win at home. No one likes to lose their home series. Pakistan have played really well. And I've been impressed with them in terms of their tenacity, the way they've kept coming. Blown away in the Test series. It's so easy for teams to just disappear, pray for the tour to end so they can get on the plane and start again somewhere else. But I think the youngsters have shown a lot of character, and in the one-day format have managed to land some big blows. And Wanderers was a big blow for South Africa. Can they bounce back? Can South Africa show the skill to beat a talented Pakistan team today at Newlands?
Yeah, why, Rambo? Why this side? And I say why because of how the tour goes. Before you look at that tour schedule, yes, 1 days is what we see on there, but before that, absolutely hammered in tests and able to come back in this way.
Well, this is their go-to game, limited overs cricket. I mean, structured format, they're very good. The roles are... They know their roles. They get a brief from the captain, from the think tank, and it seemed to work well as a unit. And I think they last extremely well in a 10-over burst, or in a 15-over batting burst, for example. Ask them to play out sessions. It tends to be just a little bit difficult. And they've got the all-rounders. They've got the spinners. I think there's a lot of variety in this bowling attack. And because they have got a wonderful bowling attack, That is why they seem to win most of these one-day encounters in T20 matches.
Okay, well, it's sweltering as far as the weather is concerned. Yeah, it would be nice to be in the aircon a little bit later. What does that mean, Sean Pollock and Robin Peterson, for what's happening out on the surface?
Yeah, Pom, interesting one. Obviously, we had such an interesting one in the test match, didn't we? I've got Robbie alongside me. Robbie, you've played a lot of cricket here. What's your initial thoughts on what you see from the surface?
I think at first glance, it looks a pretty good surface to me. I think there's an even covering of grass. It is brown grass. The groundsman did assure me that because of the moisture content, these cracks won't have too much of effect in the game. But I think if you look at the games that have been played here in white ball cricket, I think both bowlers and batsmen will be pretty happy. There's enough on offer for both skills here today.
Okay, from my perspective as a seam bowler, I'm happy. South Africa win the toss, they bowl first. I'm happy there's going to be something for me. I see some grass cover. Near these cracks, the grass cover is quite pronounced. There's going to be some movement, and I think there's going to be some good carry. What we saw in the last game was what a brilliant job those spinners did in the middle of this. What are you going to get from the surface, having played here all those years? If it doesn't turn, what can you do? And if it does, you think there will be purchase?
I think what happened here this season, watching, there's been bounce for the spinners, more so than in recent years. So I expect the bounce factor to come into play, which all spinners on offer are quality. So there's not going to be a great deal of spin, in my opinion, but the spinners on offer have a great skill set. So I think there's still going to be a handful in those middle periods.
Okay, so those are thoughts. I think batting-wise, get through that initial 5 to 10 overs, and I think it should be really good for standing up and playing your shots. Better surface than what we saw in the test, that's for sure.
Okay, yeah, no doubt that both sets of players will be happy about that with regard to it being better than in the test matches. But this spin period, speak about it as a weapon, Rambo, and Graham, you speak about it as something to combat for South Africa, because at the World Cup, well, it will be there from many sides.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought Shoaib Malik was brilliant handling spin the other day, because he gave them a bigger role, not a 3-over stint or a 4-over stint. Shadab and Imad as a pair went for about 15, 18 overs and produced the results. I think it's the ability of South Africa, really, at the end of the day, how they play spin is going to win them this cup. Because let's say if they play India in the final, it's going to be Chahal and Yadav, and maybe another option. Forget the name of the off-spinner who goes underground, submarine off-spinners. Yadav as well. So, I mean, it's going to be as simple as that. They need to just pick the game, just look to be a little bit more consistent, rotation of strike, do the simple things well, not get out in that period.
Yeah. Will it be weighing on them?
I don't think it would be weighing on them. I think South Africa and the players and the batters they have been around long enough. And if you don't know that you're coming up against India, 2 attacking spinners. You come up against England, 2 attacking spinners. Pakistan have options. And going to the World Cup, there's enough players that played in the Champs Trophy in the last tournament that understand the conditions. And you know. And I think having had conversations with Faf, they know they're going to come up against 2 spin. They have 2 attacking spinners themselves. I mean, I've been banging on about it as series, and I'm sure people are bored about it. But, you know, I think hopefully, you know, Lungi Ngidi's to come back in the next series from injury. Hopefully in the Sri Lankan series we'll start really seeing what are their frontline combinations and start seeing who the backup players are going to be going into that World Cup and how they play the situations.
Okay, well, let's get into this game particularly and talk about these 2 sides. Hazeman, what have you got for us? Hello.
Thanks, Palm. Got some stats to look at from CricViz. Since the start of the 2017 ICC Champions Trophy, the average first inning score in ODIs is 260. In that period when batting first, Pakistan's average first inning score is 278, so bear that in mind, which is 7% better than average. But in bowling first, the average score conceded is 219, which is 16% better than average. So that's pretty impressive from Pakistan. Now, another stat I want to show here, which I think tells a real story of this series. Pakistan is so strong in the middle over phase of the one-day internationals, along with India and Afghanistan. They boast significantly lower averages in that phase than any of the other 2019 World Cup teams. So let's just go and have a look at this and see where they stand, because this is really impressive. Just have a look at this. So this is the bowling averages overs 11 to 40 since the ICC Champions Trophy, and they have been brilliant. Look at that, 31.57 Pakistan. South Africa right next door at over 37. So their spinners have been really, really good in that area and have got it sorted out beautifully. And they've done a wonderful job right there. So this is really good work from Pakistan, and they can certainly take advantage again probably today with this sort of surface. Now the last thing I want to look at, and this is also of interest to me again from CricViz I should say, in the ODIs after the 2017 ICC Champions Trophy, Pakistan have lost 3 wickets plus in the first 15 overs on 7 occasions. They're the other teams that have lost more. But the point I want to make out here, and just let everyone be aware of, is that Pakistan are vulnerable in those first 15 overs. So that's a real opportunity. It's a window for South Africa to make inroads when Pakistan bat in this big game, the final. OK, Pom, back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Hayes. A few people coming in the crowd. And a big point, I guess, to make is that the top order have become a bit more consistent.
Yeah, I think they play within their parameters. They're not as gifted as some of the other openers in the world circuit, but I think they know their job. Imam has been outstanding, and his technique has improved. Is temperamentally very strong, and if Fakhar can get going as well, so that means less pressure in the middle order, and that means a lot for Pakistan, because they need, 260, 270 every time with the bowling attack that they've got to trouble the opponents.
Okay, we'll see how they go today. Not too long till the start of the game. Don't go too far away. We're back in a bit.
The atmosphere here is electric. Also getting going.
Yeah, welcome back. Well, you got to pick which your superhero is. I hope they're aligned with your actual rugby team, and you're not going to betray the trust of your teams, whether it's you like Wakanda or you like Captain America or Black Panther, as it were. In Wakanda, I'm talking about. And Thor. Yeah, wonderful weekend. 3rd of February. Turn up and support your side. Super Rugby starting soon. Okay, let's go off and hear from the teams. We'd like to get into the camps. Here's Mike Hazeman, and he speaks to Fakhar Zaman. But first, Hashim Amla.
Hash, I'm going to take a deep breath here. Fastest of 2,000 one-day international runs, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, and you got 4 knocks to get 100 runs to be fastest to 8,000. That's ridiculous.
What can I say? It's just, I'll never take anything for granted. No matter how many runs you need for whatever milestone. It's about the next game, so that's basically what I'm thinking, yeah.
Big game today, and we know that Cape Town is a fortress in test matches for you guys. Not so much in one day, as only winning 3 out of the last 6. How does that affect the mindset?
I don't think anybody has ever thought of that particular stat. But you know, Cape Town is a lovely place to play, regardless of whether it's Test one days or even T20. So a big game for us, being the final one, and hopefully it's a good one.
Just looking back at the selection so far in this series, and I know you guys are working on a plan for the World Cup, do you think it maybe has confused things a little bit with guys getting opportunities and performing?
I'm not sure about the confusion. I think as long as the communication is clear, and you'll have to ask each individual player whether it has been. But so if the communication is good, then I don't think there'll be any confusion. But as you said, you know, there's a bigger vision in mind. The World Cup's around the corner, so I'm sure the selectors, captain, coach, want to have a look at guys. So I think that's the way it kind of panned out.
Pakistan have been particularly effective with the ball in those middle overs. How do you turn that around?
Yeah, they've bowled well. Listen, Pakistan are a good bowling team, and they're a good one-day team as well. So for us, in the middle overs, to try and, you know, get momentum going and try and capitalize towards the back end. You know, we haven't managed to do that in all the games, and in a way it's been good because it kind of keeps you on your toes, and there's always room for improvement. So hopefully this game is a really complete game for us. We kind of, you know, do well in all departments to come out on top, which would be really good for us.
Thanks for your time, Fakhar. The bat seemed to find the middle of the bat in the last match. Happy with that?
Yes, very happy. And the best thing was there that we won the game, especially the pink day. So really good for us. And yes, I enjoyed my inning and hope to continue my form.
How tough is it for an opener really to bat well here in South African conditions?
I think it takes some time, and when you get in, so it's really easy compared to like Dubai and Pakistan, because if you are playing for like 5 or 6 overs, so then you can play easily your shots. So I think it's not that much difficult, but yes, you need to take some time in the start.
5 or 6 overs, 5 or 6 good fast bowlers really to deal with also.
Yes, exactly. But you know, on this stage, you faced in every team there are 3 or 4 good fast bowlers. So I think we are now used to it, but the conditions are like difficult, different from our conditions. So it takes some time, but we are very used to these kind of bowlers.
Yeah, correct. What about the short ball? It seemed to have given you a bit of a worry in the test matches. Sorted?
Absolutely sorted, and actually I was just trying to see off the balls, so that's why that was a bit worry for me. But now in ODIs and in T20s, I'm not looking to see off the ball. I'm just looking to play my shots, so I think there will be no worry for me. Yeah.
Lot to play for today. Win this and win the ODI series.
Exactly. All the guys are really looking forward for this game, and yesterday our net session was very good, and all the guys, and especially the coach and the captain, all are very positive for this game, and hope we will do better.
All the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yep, he's done decently at the top of the order. In fact, the whole top order is done well. Robin Peterson has joined us and Graham Smith's gone upstairs. Your thoughts on South Africa and the pressure on the bowlers to strike up front so that that consistency at the top isn't there for Pakistan?
I think that's what we've seen of Pakistan in the one-day series. They've got off to good starts, and all credit to them. They played exceptionally well. I mean, Imam Haq and Fakhar Zaman. So, yeah, it's important for them to strike. You need to get that middle order in when the ball's hard and there's a bit of pace and bounce. That's when you can trouble Pakistan. But at the moment, it's all been about Pakistan's top order.
And in general, Ramiz, would you say there is a particular part of the game that Pakistan would feel is their strongest point?
It's got to be bowling. I think that is where they can be lethal. And in a way, it's good that they're batting first here, because in a tough game, in a pressure game, you want to really bat first and not chase down a score, which is not their A game. So they've got the bowlers, and I think the way they use the spinners, the way they use the left arm angle is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you're ready for a really good game. It's a final 2-all. The anthems are ready. We'll hear them, and then we'll go upstairs.
everybody, and thanks for joining us. We are set for the 5th and final one-day international. It is South Africa and Pakistan. And let's face it, it is the final. 2-2 it is going into this game. And this should be an absolute beauty. We're expecting a nice crowd later on today. Of course, it's a Wednesday. But they'll come in at Newlands. They love their cricket here. They'll support South Africa. There will be some Pakistan support as well. But Pakistan have been really good in the one-day series. And have definitely put South Africa under pressure. So we are set for what should be a beauty. It was overcast earlier today, lots of sunshine now, and that's to be expected for most of the day, because even though it's a day-nighter, it might get half an hour under dark skies. That's all. Alongside me, a couple of guys who know a bit about this ground. Former captains for South Africa, Graham Smith, and also Sean Pollock. Good day, Sean.
Yeah, thanks, Ace. Hello to all the viewers around the world. It's nice to be here at Newlands. Not a massive crowd in at the moment, but most people are still finishing school. And then they'll come and witness what happens in this finale. The 5th game, Pakistan, no surprise, unchanged. They were superb, absolutely superb at the Wanderers. They'll be beaming with confidence, got themselves back into the series, and the opportunity presents itself for them to be able to wrap this series up, which will be really feather in their cap to win the series here in South Africa.
Right, there's Pakistan. As I said, Graham Smith's alongside us as well. Graham, right, you can just talk us through South Africa, Graham.
Yeah, it's pretty much true to form. South Africa chopping and changing throughout the series, maybe testing combinations, trialing combinations. I said in the pre-match it's becoming more apparent that Reza Hendricks and Umber are kind of vying for spots. And you've got the all-rounders. They've been talking about this number 7 position, and today they're playing all three: Petlaquire, Pretorius and Vian Mulder, who joined the squad. So a bit of a shootout there. Must-win game. The batting was very disappointing at the Wanderers. So that top 5 has a big job today with the all-rounders starting at 6.